Good evening, good morning, good night, or afternoon, or whatever it is where you are. It's the senior Synth stream, and it's the end of Superbooth. So we are going to get some guests from Superbooth, I hope. So far, I have one of our usual hosts, Andy, Synth addict. Oh,
sorry, not
I surprised
so super,
you. Yeah, and we will, as I said, get some guests from Superbooth. Some people who have been there. I have not been there this year. I hope to do it next year.
You went once, right? Or have you been more than once?
I've been there once
Yeah.
last year.
Cool.
But it was such a nice experience, so I have to do that again. And you can't even explain what it is. It's about connecting, about meeting people, and trying things instruments you've never thought you would touch.
NAMM still has a bit of that too, but yeah, there's way more crazy stuff going on over in Germany there. So
yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. I also have some pictures from down there taken by the ESC team, which is Bernie Huber and Tim Dale and Fred Nongard, and they are together with John Lemcool, and I hope they will join us soon on webcam. But shall we start with watching some of the pictures?
Sure.
Okay. I will have to turn the side to you because the computer I'm running it from will not connect if I have it over on the other side.
That's okay.
Hang on. I actually prepared the videos before, so now it's not in the picture folder.
Yeah, I'm not even in the loop. I haven't watched any content. I mean, we talked about it at Ramsey today, but I been busy and also purposely didn't watch a bunch because I wanted to be surprised by some stuff. But
I don't know if it's possible for me to just press arrow right to show the next picture. If not, then I may show them in another way, because it's difficult if I have to load every image single. Yeah. Before we start, I have to say hello to the chatters, of course. We do have Wagoo online. He was the first one, and then Analog Prophet, and Synth Addict, which is you, Andy, and Kosh Dukai, Awkward Teeth and Hair Productions. Okay, that's a name. Okay, and Matt Brown and Jack and Eddie Sonic and Nick Destruct. Great names. And Paula Tola. So that's the people who's in the chat right now. And let's start with the first picture. I would have loved if Tim was here, because Tim could have explained everything about what was seen in the picture. But I can try, because some of the things are like last year, I think.
yeah.
Let's see. Boom. Yeah, this is it's what do you call it, the Maya booth, where they present the synth they have made, or synths they have made a few, and I think it's Manny we see.
Yeah, it's Manny.
Yeah, it's Manny, and Maya is the guy with the glasses. Let's see. I'll try the arrow and see if it turns the picture. It doesn't. Okay, I have to load them differently.
I like the guys in the corner secretly meeting about something with berets on.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
That's
going on
true.
over there?
Yeah. And I can't even zoom in this app. I can make it full screen, but I don't think it helps much.
Who took these
No.
pictures? I forgot to ask.
This is probably Tim Dale or Fred Nugget. Can
Okay.
be Bernie Huber. Yeah, Bernie Huber. It could be him because he works a little with Maya.
Okay.
So it could be him. The people in the corner. I look at those hats they wear, or is it their
Yeah.
hair? Um,
I thought they were hats, but it could be hair. You never know.
yeah, I think the right one that may be the hair, and the other
Wow.
one is a hat. I
That's some
think
crazy
the
hair.
man with the hat is a man we know, which has been a guest here a few times. I think it's Christoph Piper.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it a wheelchair we can see on the floor, or is it a wire sticking out? It may be a wire. Difficult to say. But he uses a wheelchair. Okay, but this is problematic. I can't show them the way I wanted to. So I'll see if I can do it somehow different. Let's remove this one. What would you ever have you ever considered getting to Superbooth?
Oh, totally. I mean, I haven't been to Europe, so I mean, first of all, forget Superbooth. I want to see museums, and I want to have the food and all that stuff before I even go to Superbooth. But if I could
Yeah.
do it all in one trip, I guess. Part of me would be a little anxious though, because I'd want to be seeing all the stuff outside I've never seen before. I love expos and technology and stuff like that. Same reason I haven't gone to SIGGRAPH in other countries like SIGGRAPH Asia and stuff, because if I'm over there, I want to go see other things. I don't want to sit in a
No.
damn conference room or a giant expo hall and miss all the glorious stuff around me in another country. So, but I would definitely like to go for sure. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff there, and I don't think Germany wasn't top of my list of first countries to go to, but I would definitely like to go there at some point. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great place. Much like Denmark, the Germans are a little different, but they are much like Danes, except they don't speak. Many of them, at least on the east side, doesn't speak good English. It's
Really?
mostly German.
okay,
So, but in Denmark we have German in school, so we understand
really?
them.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Now I have used a viewer instead and share the viewer. So let's see. Now I should be able to. What? I thought I could just browse. Let's see.
So the left right arrow doesn't work to browse.
No, I thought it was
Up down
easy.
arrow.
Let's see. No. Not pages either.
You should.
Let's see.
Do you have a browser like View or something like that? You could just open a folder of images there, and then you can toggle.
Yeah,
with
but
left and right.
I thought the standard viewer could just go.
No, the standard viewer kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll shut this down, and then I could view it in a web browser instead. I'm sure it would work there. Let's quit this one. So, I hope the others turn up soon. There is okay. Tim
them
has
join
just
their
sent me
drink.
some videos. Yeah, I hope he joins us soon. I'll download those videos when I have solved this first. So let's see if I open it in another program. But you used to go to NAM. How's NAM, and how do you expect it to be different from Superbooth?
I mean, Superbooth obviously is more about the techie stuff, and NAMM is so broad because it's so huge, and it's like band instruments and drums and guitars and lighting, fog machines, all that kind of crap, all the stage trickery and stuff. Superbooths, at least all the videos I've ever watched, are mostly about the techie stuff, synths and drum machines and modular and some other bizarre instruments, and then of course there are regular bands playing on these little stages that have all kinds of normal instruments, nothing too weird. But it seems like most of the focus, because it's run by Schneider, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be geared around electronics mostly. It seems. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Or maybe like guitar pedals here and there, stuff like that. But so I'm all for that, because NAMM only has a small section of that stuff. To be honest, I mean, it's you've seen the coverage. I love what I can interact with and people hang out with there and stuff. But it's a totally different vibe because it is just so huge and so many different types of people there. Whereas Superbooth is clearly focusing on the musos, as they say.
Yeah. I have to say, Tim is trying to connect, but he needs to connect his. No, I can. Yeah. Oh,
Is that them?
Yeah.
Hello.
you have to turn off
What do you think about it? Send it to me.
the speaker.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I just, it's a fundraiser. Yeah. For them.
While that happens, I'll mute him for a second.
Okay.
I have now the viewer is working, but it's not in the right order.
Oh, guys, just doing it by file name or something like that.
Yeah, but at least Tim is here.
You sort by
Tim,
date,
Tim
maybe?
can explain what is what, or what is happening on the picture. So I'll turn your mic on
Show,
again,
by the way,
Tim.
so they're meeting this at the moment while you're talking.
Okay,
Hi there.
welcome, Tim. First, where are you right now?
Right, there we go. I can hear
Okay,
you.
Tim, where are you right now?
So we're in an Airbnb in Berlin.
Very generous.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, you might be able to hear in the background. We have.
I'm gonna see if
Hold on,
we can
I'm going to turn round. So that
Yeah.
John and Fred and Bernie all with us.
Yeah. Nice to see you all.
So, but we
I
can
can't
hear
get the
something. You
computer
can hear
file.
us?
What?
Yeah, unfortunately they can't have up my speaker on, so I can hear them, but they
If
can
they
hear
turn
us.
echo
Yeah, yeah, of
cancellation
course.
off, you
That-
probably can do
Yeah.
that.
Then switch echo cancellation on.
No, because echo.
Hang on. I'll.
join here.
Okay.
Tim, now turn on your speaker because I've. Now
I'm
you can
sorry?
turn on. You can turn on your speaker now. I've
Oh, I can turn-
Can
enabled
you pass
echo
the-
cancellation.
Can you pass the headphone
Okay,
by
yeah.
the one who's speaking?
That's right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Right.
Ah, there.
Let's give this a go. Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. We've now got two
Yeah.
speakers.
I
in
still
the-
hear a little
Just a
echo.
little bit of echo, but not as bad as
Just
before.
added another room, so sorry.
Yeah. So we have you on two cams. That's big.
Well,
We're gonna join.
sorry, let me turn around.
There you go. You
There you
can
go.
join.
Yeah,
there, so we
yeah.
have
So
cameras.
I would advise that the one who speaks gets the headphone on.
No, we don't need this on speaker now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Usually, but now you're four people on two computers, so it's.
Couldn't put you harder. I'm an old man, you know I need this.
Bernie, you look great.
Okay.
How's
How
my
does?
haircut?
Beautiful.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
In Denmark,
Right.
when we say things is upside down, we usually say it's on the it's on the head, so your hair's on the head. It doesn't work in other languages, but it's a good joke in Denmark.
Henrik, it's so good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too, John. It's been a long time since we've talked last.
I'm glad to see you're doing good and getting health back and everything. So
Yeah, at the moment it's very good. I'm not cured, but it's good at the moment, and the surgery is on its way. So
right on, brother. Right on.
yeah. How has your Superbooth been?
Incredible.
It's the most successful Superbooth in my feeling we ever had. Because there were so much connection, there were so much opportunities. The weather was nice, people were nice,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of things, nice things coming in future, which are not is really ripe right now, but which promises extremely lot. And for the ESC, for John, for us all, for us personally all,
Yeah.
and the Superboost by itself, just to let me speak, for me personally, what impresses me the most was the Oberheim T05. Yeah, and of course the Iridium, but I bought it for myself, so otherwise
Yeah,
I would say that.
but before we come to that, I do have a lot of pictures from Tim that you have all been taking. So should we go through them, and then you can
Yeah, of course.
explain instead of having to do it twice?
Of course, you can let Tim comment the pictures because he took the pictures, most of them.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Let's do
hold on, I'll get the.
I have to share the right screen. It was the wrong screen I shared here.
Yeah, we're not going to see it on this link, are we?
It's not the dirty ones.
Superbooth After Dark.
Here we go.
Hold on.
This is the small little Moog
Hold on. What is?
will come out.
No. That's a video.
Here it is.
So right. Need it with no volume on.
So this one.
Okay.
Let's hear
Howard
what it's
doing
about.
his thing.
Now,
Theater.
yes. This is Howard giving a demonstration for UV, or especially with UV model stuff.
Yes. So the guy on the right is playing all the UV Eurovac modules,
Yes.
and Howard on the left is using the explicitly Osmos as a keyboard controller. But what he's actually playing on the laptop is Zebralet.
And Hype.
Oh yeah. He's playing the melody parts.
Yeah. I have to say we have a little video which will come later.
Yeah.
Right now it's only the images.
Yeah.
Next.
Yes, let's take the next one.
To say to the people out there, the telephone and the streaming options on the Superboost is catastrophal. You nearly have no receive there, and everybody is crying about that. You mostly cannot even telephone there because you have no connection. So
Very bad.
live stream is very, very difficult getting on the Superboost. So we have to do it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apologies. This photo is actually not Superbooth. This is actually from the new Schneider's Laden shop in Berlin.
Yeah.
Because we went there the day before. So these are, for those who don't know, Schneider's Laden are the people that organised the Superbooth, and they just moved to a new shop location in Berlin.
Yeah.
Just a few models.
Yeah, they have quite a lot of modules.
You know.
Yeah, it's like being home.
It's mad.
I think this is something most kids around 11, 12 years old can afford to, acquire and work with and start with.
Yeah,
Good starting character. Yeah.
yeah, it's a toy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's good for free jazz, I think,
Yeah. Apologies for the echo, by the way. Sorry, Wagyu. We've got two laptops in here, so we're getting the sound, people speaking into one and then echoing out the other. So,
It's nice.
so unless we all put headphones on, we're a bit stuck.
Uh-huh.
Slap back.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Yes. So this is the
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
yeah.
Magnolia.
This is Magnolia by
Magnolia.
Frat Audio.
Frat body.
How
Yeah.
was it? Because all the demos we see online is not very good.
Yeah.
Right, they start up with the fact that they come without any presets.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it's not to the point of making presets yet. They're
Yeah.
still designing. I was talking with the actual person that's coding it.
Yeah.
The big challenge is there's really no LCD screen. Modulation is done by holding down this display button. See the little light, the little white light. Those come on to parameters that have modulation assigned. It's very critical. I told them to look at what Meyer is doing by transmitting to Wi-Fi to a browser to be some sort of a real-time feedback of what you're doing in the machine, because you could spend all your time learning how to program this and you'll forget it in 3 months because it's not intuitive at all. Sonically, there is a lot of capabilities with the way they have the FM. There's two separate oscillators, and each one is very capable of going to some really interesting frequencies, and they just don't have the voicing. I gave them a card and told them I would be interested in working with them if they wanted some voicing for it. But this would be a hard thing to program because
Yeah.
the feedback that you see on the display is, I call it like it's an enigma machine, because it's not helping. So you have to put the model in your head and make a display of what you're doing at all times in your head to the sound, because what you see on the interface is not going to help you.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
sonically, there's not a possibility. They were showing it really early, but everybody was excited with the potential. It's one of the more exciting things at the booth, because it is the way you have it play unison is you hold down unison and you play a note how many times you want for the number of notes in unison you want. If you want to play chords, you hold down a chord button and then you play the notes on the keyboard you want for the chord. So it's some intuitive. This guy's just like trying to figure out how he's going to do it. And then I said, well, have a display. And he's like, well, how would I display this on a computer screen? I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah. Before we continue, I have to say, now when you have two computers in the same room,
Well, let's do
being
this.
online,
I'm gonna mute
I mute the opposite computer. So when you're talking, John, we can't hear Bernie and Tim unless they signal or shout loud. So just continue, John. Now you're muted. I don't get it.
You have to unmute when you talk. Yeah.
Well, you mute can you hit the mute button on yours?
I control the muting, so don't mute yourself.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because if you mute one side, you'll get the feedback
Yeah.
this time.
So anyway, they're still having discussions about how the front panel is exactly going to be laid out. So it's very much a prototype stage this at the moment. So yeah, all I was worried about being Magnolia. If you take it, if anyone in the UK buys it, it's going to be camouflaged against the walls of their rooms. So it's a common colour in the UK.
For my humble opinion, it's by far as fat as an Oberheim or something like this. And all the people talk to me, and you have to go there to the frap, and you have to listen to it, and finally you come there. And for me, it was not really that I say, oh, this machine I need really much. And so yeah, it's by everybody his own opinion, but for me personally, not. So too thin.
I think it has potential. It's just too soon to really know what that potential will be until they get farther along in development.
Okay.
And I mean, unfortunately, like I don't think a lot of these companies will come to the NAMM show in Los Angeles. So it's going to be a year till we see it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Superbooth is there's a lot of prototypes, a lot of work in progress, and NAMM you don't really get that so much. So
Yeah. John, you actually made a little prediction that NAMM will be less interesting next year?
I think so. I mean,
Uh,
between the cost continuing to go up, it's so expensive to go. Ticket to go in the door is expensive. The political climate, we don't know if our president will say something stupid in November that
Oh, he will. Don't worry. This is not
Yeah.
if. You know, this
who
is,
knows what. I mean,
yeah,
I predict there will be some. And there's a lot of people I talk to here that are like, well, I'm afraid of going because I might get deported, or they might do something when I fly in the gate. You just don't know,
yeah.
and so we'll see. I don't want to go.
No.
I mean, this was so fun. We were talking when we were driving back from dinner, and I'm like, I'd rather save my money, plan to come back here again in a year, get a ticket, be here, hang with these guys. Maybe you join us next year, which would be awesome. That walking through the trees to techno music is really fun.
Yeah, it's a fantastic experience down there. Down there, I'm in Denmark above, so I could call it down there. Yeah. And being there in the woods and with all those people, it's fantastic. You have to try it if you haven't tried it. So. Yeah.
You must know that Superbooth this year was even more crowded, and more people were there than last year, and I think even 20% more than last year. And they were everywhere. There were new stands, and it was quite filled. All the famous companies were this year there, and it was really worth to go there. You were had barely time enough to see all, even if you go all 3 days and go around like crazy. It's just, it was wonderful. It's a paradise for everybody who loves synths or motor well.
Does that
Or
also mean it's hard for
Yeah.
you to get to contact things because everyone's taking over everything, or is it?
no.
It wasn't overcrowded.
It wasn't overcrowded.
Because it's so spread out. Because it used to be just in one building, but because of COVID, it's now spread out through
The little
the
bungalows, right?
areas,
Those little-
bungalows and
Yeah,
tents and things, over about a mile. So nowhere it felt overcrowded. You never had trouble seeing a table or anything. So even though it was very well attended this year. So
no.
You would walk for 10 minutes and be stopped by somebody. And then you'd walk 10 more minutes and be stopped by somebody else. And then you'd see somebody you want to go give a bear hug to that's talking to people and checking with them, and then you keep right on walking. And I mean, it's a unique situation for me because a lot of the people that are the YouTube influence, we had a thing today at 2:00 by the tents of YouTube influencers. So there's probably a dozen people that have YouTube channels. And 6 years ago when I came, the previous summer, I flew to Treppendorf and did a YouTube influencer get together at Tom and Music with
I
like
remember that.
6 of the guys
Yeah.
of the 12 that were here today. So we did this like boot camp where they bought our airplane tickets and they fed us at the Tom has actually a whole food campus, restaurants and stuff.
That was the
They
synth
fed us
reactor,
and
right?
like that.
The Tom
And
and synth reactor.
We were video whores. We made videos for Yamaha, Moog, Arturia, all these companies that paid our tickets. Then they had these rooms that had 4K video setups with 4 guys in another room managing all the everything, and then they would give us a little SD card after we did a demo, and we could pick anything in this tent to do a video review on.
Yeah,
And
I remember that show. It was where all the pedals you could got
Yes.
connected.
Yes. And there's another one where they made the biggest drone sound. The showroom for Tommen is huge. There's like 300 keyboards. And they went and they taped down the D's of every note of every keyboard. So as you walk through this huge thing,
remember that.
everything is playing D's. And then they had a binaural audio headset from Neumann that they were spinning in the middle of it and just doing all sorts of silly, stupid things.
That was the one where
They'll
Sam
never do
Battle
that
cut up a
again.
Rolly C board. You could see the inside of a Rolly C board.
Yeah, that's true.
They lost a lot of money. The places they made the studios those have all been torn down. They're making an even bigger showroom at Commons, so it will never happen again, I guess. But I showed a beta version of Unify to them, and then 6 years ago when I came to Superbooth, I was in the Uhi booth showing a beta ugly version of Unify. So it's fun to come back this year with an iPad with screenshots of Unify 2 and show them what we're working on. And a lot of people are excited, and it's been fun. Crazy event.
Yeah. Let's get on with the photos. So this is the next one. Tim, will you explain?
I'm waiting for it to appear. Yeah, no, this is an interesting one. This is the EO-wave quadrantid swarm, which is named after a meteor shower. And I first saw this at Superbooth in 2022, just walking through the woods towards the huts, and suddenly there was this synthesizer on a stand connected to a gong, and so they put a transducer on the gong. So instead of playing the synthesizer through a loudspeaker, it was playing through the gong, producing the most unearthly sound. And I loved it so much that not only did I sample it at the time, which I've actually used in recent libraries, that sample, but I actually bought that module as well, which I've got that at home. Not playing through a gong, I should say. But so many people seem to remember that they've actually now started manufacturing the gong, so you can actually buy the gong with the transducer attached.
Yeah,
Okay.
Heimbach has some of those gong speaker things.
Yeah, no, this is not that company that makes those. This is I don't think it is. I think this is just some EO-wave is doing
Different company.
themselves.
Yeah.
But Swarm, great little instrument. So there's not many times I've been to an exhibition and been so impressed by something I just went out and bought it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one?
Yeah, well, hopefully this should be self-explanatory. This is from the Buchler stand, and there's they put some equipment outside on the table so that members of the public can have a play with the. Well, in this case, it's not quite the easel; it's the two parts of the easel in two separate parts. Say one that just the keyboard part being used to control the Artemis, and the other one is a MIDI controller controlling the synth part. So.
Okay, next one. Oh, wrong way. I don't think they are in the right order.
No. Yeah. So this is actually a company. I love it when companies almost go under and then come back from the brink. And here we have one of them. This is WMD, Weapons of Mass Destruction, who obviously Eurorack module, and they are back now with brand new modules. And they were showing off the module that you can't see too clearly there, which is the one with the red knobs in the middle and the upper row. Which is,
and we will have a video
Scorpion.
of it a little later.
Yeah, it's an 8-stage wavefolder, so it's managed to create some very otherworldly sounds. That one.
Yeah. I was Andy and I was on Rancy's today, the Synth Geekery, and we talked about this module. So we look forward to the video later.
Yep.
Next one here.
Yeah, I'm glad someone's mentioned the name. Yeah, the Scorpion. I couldn't remember the name of the module.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Will
so
K.
this is regular attendees at Superbooth. This is UDO. It's really funny because they're my local synth company because they're based not far from where I live. But I meet up with them every year in Berlin. Yeah, so this is that's the Super 8 at the bottom and the Super 6 module at the top there. And you can't see, you can just about see past the bird of the sleeve. In the background is the Super Gemini.
Yeah. And then there's this one.
Great synth, I admit.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes. Oh yeah, Wagyu. Yeah. No one mentioned that upgrade today, Wagyu, about the voice upgrade for the Super 8. So this is Pittsburgh Audio. So this is their Voltage Lab at the top and the Tiger 2 keyboard at the bottom.
You're hired.
Yes. Yeah, which is great. So And just off the
Okay.
right of the picture, which I don't know if you've got the photo as well, is the modules by Create Audio that Pittsburgh did with them as well. So
This
and
one.
also some
This
string.
one. I've been wanting
Yeah,
to
and
see
what
this
looks
one.
like a plant creeping into the side is actually Eurovac leads. Yeah, now this is a really interesting one, which is this has been something we've been following the development of through Superbooth, and this is Korg Berlin's um, been experiment. So we first saw 2 years ago it in a very rough form. Yeah, the Phase 8, yes. And then last year it was an almost working edition, and now it's a full working product with sequencer and all sorts of other features. And it works by basically the signals trigger the electromagnets, which cause the times to vibrate at the top, and you can actually change over you can put weights on the tines to change it and things like that, and there's all sorts of other effects built into it as well. So it's quite a fun little device.
How much noise does it make right near the box, just without any circuitry? Can you hear
It doesn't. You can't hear anything
You can't
without
hear anything. Okay.
being
Okay.
output because the vibrations are so tiny that you don't actually hear a twang or anything.
Okay.
So, unless you physically twang it with your finger, you'd hear
Right.
that. But the actual vibrations caused by the electromagnets are tiny. So. Yes, Wagyu saying you can modify the sound through lumps of cheese. Well, anything you care to put on the on top of the metal. Yeah. So this is the this was a really fun little device. This is the Instruo Seashell. So this is their first product that hasn't actually got a Gallic name, and it's also not a Eurorack module. It's smaller than that. It's a standalone module, and also contains an audio interface as well. And you can actually have it you can actually have the software plugin to go with it. So you can actually control all the settings from on screen, and then use that as a plugin within your door. So you can actually use the sound of this module within your door, and it's quite.
Is this one that has presets? You can save presets.
It can do if you have using the software interface. Yeah, and it's a great fun thing to play.
Kind of a future direction for modular to go to become more programmable, standalone by itself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the Yamaha Reface, where you have to use the iOS app to make presets. Otherwise, it's
Yeah,
whatever you set it for.
But even if you're not using the software, just on its own, you can use it as a fun synth module.
Yeah.
It's quite capable.
What bit resolution?
Explain.
I have absolutely no idea. No, in fact, I was going to do a panning video. So this one stand had this of a strange dinosaur creature on.
I can tell you what it is. Finally, I have something.
Go on then. What is it?
This is from a guy called Lucas, and actually his normal work is selling these toys. And it's a MRE or MSE MIDI devices where this gets sold. So it's actually a private thing, though. Nothing to do with music. It's just funny.
I couldn't tell by the scale if it's furries at the show or not. So
Yeah, I was going to take this panning photo going from that to off to the right, but people got in my way, so I couldn't do it. Just off to the right of that is a pretty scary sort of Halloween mask thing. And no, it's not Ty Enwin, no, he wasn't there. So. In answer to your question.
Might be Gaz Williams after a shave.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's PSI, right,
Yeah.
James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2600.
Yeah. So so this is the I never remember the name of this company, but yeah, someone fill it in. It's the other company that make the 2600 clone, but this is the full size clone
Korg.
to the mini by Korg or the Antonus.
I only remember Korg and Behringer and Arp.
And of course, they went very authentic because they've even got the speakers on it.
Okay. Let's take the next one.
What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is,
There's no name on it.
Yeah, so this is the new synth, and I can't remember the name of the synth by GS Audio. Yes, unfortunately, I can't comment on how it sounded because I didn't get a chance to try it. So ES Music, sorry. Yeah, the B6. Yeah. Thank you, Wagyu.
Wow.
So, yes, content.
Interesting. Aqua-
Yeah, this is one of my favourites for best sounding synth at the show. This is the Crick by Future Sound Systems, and which I got to see first at Machina Bristonica back in October, and spent a while playing with, and then got to have another go with it yesterday. And yeah, it's a fantastic machine, and I always commend them because in addition to its incredibly powerful synth engine as well, and also the pin matrix on the right, which means you can just about configure anything with anything else. It has down to the left of the pin matrix thing, you can see it has a pin park. So I think any synth that uses pins should have a pin park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the pins aren't color coded by resistance, right? They're
not. No,
right.
no, they are just coloured. They don't actually. They're not. They don't include resistors. I did ask that.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is our. We ended up having to park out on the road because the car park was so full we couldn't actually get into the place, so we actually had to walk through the woods to get to the place. Yes, and they actually set up a big top in the among the other tents and things, and there was a just basically huge pile of equipment with various people and big video display boards and various people performing in there during the course of the 3 days, and it was always very loud. No, it's not the Waldorf tent.
No, absolutely not. Waldorf was inside the hall, quite small.
Yeah, and if you've got videos, you'll find we'll get to. There's actually a video of the little 30 seconds of the performance.
Yeah, I saw that. We will come to that later.
Yeah, so this is just the next one was just a lot of modular. Feel free to steal these images and use them as backdrops on your computer. So,
Aren't anyone making carpets like this?
yeah, you're bad on the eye if you try to walk over those. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is an interesting one. This is also by Future Sound Systems. So Finley Shakespeare, if anyone knows him, and he was looking to have where he's got the Crick synthesizer there. He was looking to have a joystick for controlling parameters, but didn't really want to have a Euroact module with it in. And thought, well, someone must have made a standalone joystick for controlling CV signal, and discovered that there wasn't really anything like that in a sensible size. So he's made one. So that is a brand new product from them. So I've no idea when it's going to be available. But at the moment, I think that's just a prototype. It will have a proper case, yeah, great useful.
Actually, there is a good standalone joystick. I haven't used mine for a while. I forgot the name of it, but if I can pop it up, I'll tell you what it is. But it does MIDI and CV gate. So.
Okay. Yeah. So Jumping is now Korg. So we've now got their 3 desktop editions of 3 of their synths. The Modwave Op6 and at the top the Multipoly. Been controlled from their key stage MIDI controller.
Yeah,
Although I don't think it's quite lining up correctly with the key stage today. But
perhaps John should talk a little about these because he have made a lot of the factory patches.
What do you want to know?
Everything. Mostly the secrets.
The Op6 is the one odd in the list between I think there's 5 that Korg has released because it was designed in Japan. The others were designed by Korg R&D, so they have a following similar language interface, whereas you sit at the Op6. And it's perfectly fine to do that because the FM synthesis, it plays by its own rules, so it doesn't have to be the same as the others. The ModWave has my wavetables along with many others that I designed for a Serum library they licensed from me. The WaveState has 3 gigabytes of plug and groove samples they licensed from me. Multi-poly, and WaveState I did voicing and patches for and so forth. And WaveState was hard because it was the first of this new system of theirs where it was software driven that you would program, and then they turned it into hardware. And the first one, if you take a look at the interface of the WaveState, that's exactly what you saw on a computer screen to edit and make patches with, and it was an absolute nightmare because when you're working on a computer, you need to see LFOs and have easy access to the parameters and that. They weren't there because they didn't have a separate engineering team to do the design of a software version of it at that point. So system's gotten better. They've gotten the templates down at this point, and so it's a lot better working ways. But they're fun boxes. They sound great. Lots of patches, flexibility. More fun to work on now with the software that they've matured and improved. If you want to play with these types of things, again, that's one of the big things with Magnolia is that I don't know how you program it and keep track of everything and come back a couple days later to revise a patch and know where you left off. Whereas with these, its interface is pretty good for showing you where you're at, where you left off, what you're going to do. So.
And over on the right, you can see the Kronos 3, which
Yes.
there'll be other pictures of later. And the white box beside the Kronos 3, for no Bradley apparent reason, is a polystyrene mock-up of the Phase 8 that we saw earlier. Just with a sign saying, if you want to see this in real life, basically head down to the woods.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
From the museum.
Who wants to talk about these?
You were waiting to load them, so.
Yes, so there is a Berlin synthesizer museum now, and they brought down some of their exhibits to show off. And you can see there the obviously the Model D, the Alesis Andromeda on the right-hand side in an unusual color scheme, but amazing, epic sounding machine. The glass case behind the Andromeda's got an ECS3 in it, and then at the background you can just about make out the Roland System 100. Yeah, lots of cool things they brought along, and they had a Jupiter as well, although I don't think that was actually plugged in.
Right. You could see it. But,
Yeah.
What is that speaker on the glass? Is it for headphones? Is it a jack for headphones?
I think it's a reflection of like the back of.
Yeah, it's yeah. You can see bits of the back of the Andromeda, I think, reflected.
Yeah. Okay. Next one.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, so someone was pointed out. Yeah, the book that was propped up there had the CS80 on the cover. Yeah, that's correct. It's System 100. Fairly well equipped. And,
The cord.
huh?
The little cord thing.
No,
Other cord.
no. This is the Roland's. Oh, this. Oh, sorry.
It's cord.
I'm behind on the picture. Sorry. Yeah, this is the reissue of the Korg 700.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the front hole.
Yeah. Picture of that whole entrance hall. Korg always in the entrance hall, and then where the Sony T-shirt goes in the back there.
Could you get Bernie away from the T-shirt shop?
Not a chance. No, we tried, but like Mission. Just every time we tried, you could hear the Mission Impossible music. So.
Well, I don't know what you guys mean. I just bought 10 T-shirts this time, and I even did something what I never did before. I give one away. It still pains, but okay. I won't do that again. No, it was okay, but the crazy thing to say something funny, they have only XL and XXL. And
Oh,
if you be a big guy like me, you have a problem. And they have it since years. And I told them every year why you don't do 3XL, 4XL, because a lot of German have a beer belly like me, and
yeah.
they would better fit in and they would sell better, but they just don't do. They have very less. At least they had a couple of different 3XL and 4XL, so it is very nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so this is the Duranalog stand where they make a whole lot of very interesting Euroact modules. But my most recent purchase is the Collide 4 that Duranalog did in conjunction with Heimbach, and there's several of them in that rack you can see on the left-hand side there. And then the big cushion is they've made a cushion. They turned the Collide 4 into a cushion, and I pointed at it and said. I don't think that would fit in my Eurorack, to which they replied, that's the software version. Belgian humour, obviously.
This is a cool synth.
Next.
We're still waiting. Yes, this is the people call it the artichoke. This is the fountain out the front of the building, which apparently in the entire time that it's been, it's never worked.
So it's not what do you call it? Why can't I remember the name? The antenna thing.
No.
Not a satellite dish, no, and neither is it the stage for Jean-Michel's
A
latest
new
show.
Starlink
Yeah.
configuration.
Looks like a shaggy mane mushroom. That's cool.
Yeah,
Okay, next one.
yeah. So this is,
So plugging for audience, people won't come.
yeah, next one I think.
Send messages.
So I'm still waiting for the image to come up, but I presume it's this is off the Make Noise stand, and this is the Zero Coast, Zero Control, and Strega wired up together for people to play with. But
It's the walking dictionary of sales.
I have two of these.
This team is unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's like a computer.
Yeah.
There's no paper in front of him or something like this, you know.
them.
Jeez.
So now we know this is the Make Noise stand.
So now we know how bad Tim's gas really is.
Yeah.
His gear acquisition syndrome is.
No, I don't have gear acquisition syndrome. I have gear syndrome. I just have gear.
I just have gas. Soma.
What?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So this is just
Slower than I'm at.
long distance shot of the Soma stand that they were using for demos. And you see someone playing the Soma Tower on the right hand table. Yeah, they had a separate table where they basically big U-shaped table where they just filled it with like this. There's a close up of the Soma Tower, which was my favourite instrument to play at Superbooth 2 years ago.
Yeah, Terra's great.
Amazing sounding synth.
Something I don't get about this one.
Yeah.
Yes, many people have four fingers on except for the thumb, but the right hand on that one.
Yeah,
Well, they try to get the 12 tones in there. So
well, no, because you've got there those 12 buttons on the right hand side basically correspond with the 12 notes of an octave.
and it's also microtonal too, if you want.
Right, and can be microtonal. So yeah, so the idea is you don't play them all at once, but you hop between them, or you can play a couple.
You can actually do the Harry Partch 43 tone scale on this thing.
Yeah, and you can, and of course you can glide as well. So you can slide across from a sequence. So you'd go from, say, like I was doing earlier, I was going from 12 to 10 to 5 to 2 to 3 in a gliding pattern, which sounded it was. Yeah, it's definitely a machine with a learning curve. But I advise anyone who's going to try out Terra is watch your video first about it. Yeah, I have to admit, I was rushing through this room, so I know absolutely nothing about this company, but their system did look cool, so I took a photo of it.
This was next to Schmidt.
Because back backed onto this picture is they have the Schmidt synthesizer, which I've had to go on. So
Impressive, real impressive wall.
oh yeah, most of them,
Yeah, I remember them last year. It was a massive sound coming out from the room. The
Yes.
first day I was in there, and the days after it was quiet. I think someone have told them to play.
Keep it down.
Yeah, keep it down.
The benefit if you have this much Eurorack kit, you don't actually need to buy wallpaper. So,
Their house is decorated.
yeah.
And incredible expensive.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, there you go. And here's
Here we
the
got a Schmidt.
which a guy. I was playing this, and the guy was standing there waiting. So I offered if he wanted a chance to play, and he just looked like, "No, I'm too scared." It is an imposing beast, but it is an incredible sound.
Is it true he's going to stop making them? I heard he had a limited run. The
They
Schmitz.
stopped before because of lack of components, but they're back.
Okay. Okay.
We're back at as of last year, unless this is new information in the last year. But,
The mini Smith.
yeah, we haven't.
Bastel.
They didn't have
Wave
anything.
Bard, Pastel.
Yeah, now
Quite
this was surprisingly fun. So this is a rhythm module, and the sound that comes out of it does not match its little tiny size. So so I don't know what I was expecting, but this thing kicks hard.
It's very cool. Yeah, the Basel
Great
stuff is
fun
good.
little gadget. But the only trouble is those connecting pins to patch it are tiny. So yeah, not for those with poor eyesight.
They bend very easily, and you can get them in the wrong hole sometimes. So.
Well, that's good, yeah.
Yeah. Use it 6 times, and all of a sudden it has no.
Yeah, I wasn't. I have tried a couple of the Bastel things before and wasn't impressed, but this I enjoyed that, and that's just a picture out of one of the upstairs windows over the block on the left. There is the sea stage, so it's a stage there on the water where there's acts performing during the day, and then there's you can see tiered seating there as well, where people sit to drink coffee, chat, and watch bands play.
And smoking.
And smoke, yes, there's much smoking.
If it's the same room as last year, then it's from the Smith
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
How loud is it in the stands out there? Is it quite loud?
It can be, depending who's playing, yeah.
Yeah.
They had some meditative people with flutes
yeah,
going through synth modules, doing really cool things that were more meditative, and all of a sudden they would take off and do something a little harder.
yeah. I was sitting out there for lunch, and someone was playing something very gentle and ambient, and I felt myself dropping off, so it's not always loud.
Okay.
It
Next
was
one.
okay, but a lot of people smoking weed this time. I never had it
Yeah.
before in all those years, because in Germany they have legalized marijuana, and you really could smell it on a lot of places. So it was no surprise. This is Berlin,
now-
and 3 people.
Now it's legal in small portions.
And it's Berlin, it's a free
Yeah.
city. So
Yeah. But you live in Holland.
I live in Holland, and I never smoked in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And the word never there.
Yeah.
Who are these guys?
So those guys are really looking great.
What's that? Hold on.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness.
If you see these guys, lock your door, stay inside.
Yeah. John, I'll let you present the other guys, and then I'll let them present you.
I'm showing you. This guy beside me.
I'm kind of aiming at Bernie's face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear what Henry said? He asked if you'd like to introduce the people in the picture. He said.
Oh, there's Larry, Mo, Poe, and
Lala.
Lala.
Yeah, Lala is Lala.
Who's Tinky Winky?
Oh, that's Bernie.
Someone's got to be Tinky Winky.
I had
Okay, thanks for the presentation. And now you guys, you can present John.
We should show pictures from the
yes.
the wonderful retail store in downtown Berlin that we made a adventure or two.
Oh yeah, if you send the pictures. Yeah. I was gonna say, John Lem called the man that needs an introduction.
Was that German?
That's what I do.
Yeah,
They
you
say-
should
they-
you
they-
should see the picture of the. We made a picture on the Rammstein Museum,
Rammstein.
and this
Oh,
was a
wow.
really worthy picture. So
Yeah,
it's
I'll show it to the camera.
it's two words. Oh, they show it to the camera.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So
So
anyway,
it was lots of fun.
So anyway, this on the picture is Fred Longa and John Lemcool,
So this
Bernie
was-
Hubert, and myself, Tim Dale.
After maybe 30, 45 minutes at the Rammstein retail store,
Which you're not allowed to say with that ground.
you must have the spirit of possession take you over. It was very fun. We all bought sex toys. It was great.
Okay. What is this?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah. So this is the chroma plane, which
Oh, right.
I
That's cool.
hadn't had
Ah.
chance to see this before.
This is
Anyone-
cool, yeah.
So it looks like someone's just left their laptop folded down on the table, and it's about that sort of size. But inside are a series of electric coils, and you play them by moving. You can see in the hand on the right hand side there, electric coil
You can
pickups.
excite them.
Yeah, you move those pickups over on one end of wires, and you run them over the. And you can't see, but there are actually dots on the surface showing you where there's about 10 dots on the surface in different places, showing where the actual
can
centers
hold
are
them
of the coil, so you can move over and get different tones. And it's if you like creating ambient music, it's a great instrument for that.
It's like a desktop version of Electro Sloosh. If you ever saw Electro Sloosh before, it was a really cool device.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I think the Chrome plane came out last year, but I hadn't seen it before anyway. Yeah, so just in case you weren't sure which room you were in here, they put their name up in neon. So Eric were there. Interesting enough, they weren't actually showing much apart from their new drum machine, the Hex drum, and it did sound very nice.
Yeah. At first, I thought when I saw this picture that it was some Eurorack in the ceiling.
Oh, really?
Oh, see, no, that is that's just the lights, yeah. And Gertz was in the room, which obviously Gertz, Henrik said hello to him. So,
There were surprisingly less modules there. I expected a little bit more from Erica.
Yeah. But last time it was a busy room, but it was full of their products.
Not this time. Not this time.
Yeah, it was
No.
Maybe
far more cut down
also
than this
fun.
time,
No.
but yeah, most yeah. Hang on. Oh yes, the Aodeo, yes, because I've got the Aodeo Anima Phi Wagyu. Yeah, very sad about Aodeo's passing. Yeah, so, right, yeah, so this is the
Clubgrand.
pardon?
I see Clubgrand logo over the
Yeah,
bar.
so this is the Novation room. So they'd put a nice display up of step display with plants, and just trying to make everything nice.
Modular and plants go hand in hand, of course.
Did you try the keyboards up with the blue?
No, they didn't bring any mountain climbing kit to get to it.
Okay. I think that was the last photograph.
Is it?
So
Oh,
now it's time for the videos.
Oh,
I will have to prepare them.
yeah. So some of the videos will actually show some of the same things as the photos.
Just moving.
Before I forget, for Tim, this was the joystick that I was talking about. It's in the chat. It's really cool.
Oh, right.
Standalone
Oh, okay.
joystick, CV and gate. Program it.
Oh,
With
and MIDI as well. Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously the one you saw there is just CV, so it's probably a simpler and cheaper thing.
And USB. This also does USB too. So
Yeah.
This time it will open it with the QuickTime player. So I fear that it will play them one at a time and then continue.
So,
Hang on.
yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I'm almost ready. Be patient. There it is. Video. Share. And here it should start playing. It doesn't. Let's try. Oh, no audio? No. I will have to play them one at a time instead.
Hold on,
So-
I'm not sure.
So,
Oh, yeah, so it's a shame you can't hear this, because, yeah, this is the Erica Synth Hex drums.
you will be able to hear it soon. I have tried this one earlier.
Do you know there's a software plugin called Hexdrum?
No idea.
Yeah, I reviewed it. It makes really, really great Simmons
Right.
drums. What's the
Okay, here comes. It's another. This time it's in chronologic order, so it's not the one from before you see now.
Oh, okay. It's also rather large.
You can also play with hands.
I don't know if you spoke above the video. We couldn't hear that.
Oh, sorry.
What?
They couldn't hear what we said.
It's configurable to be played like they're playing it here with their hands, or you can actually make places that you would play with drumsticks that would trigger different. It's very flexible for controls of the surface option.
Yeah. So yes. So if you didn't hear, this is the Airy, and it's a MIDI controller.
Is this the Airy Touch 2? Because they already had an Airy Touch before.
Yeah. So this is the new one.
Okay.
I didn't get any more information on it than that.
Okay.
Just look cool, so I videoed it.
Yeah, they're nice.
Okay, let's take the next one. I have to. Yeah, that. Yeah, now we can talk.
Yes, yes, that's the Yuhi performance that we mentioned earlier. That's proving that you can actually have a Eurovac concert that is actually melodic. Unlike certain performances I could mention.
Yeah, and it was Howard on the left.
Howard Scar, and I can't remember the other guy's name, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But also from UV.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't Urs.
No.
No,
He usually
absolutely
keeps in
not.
the background.
Yeah.
He's not that a public person. Yeah, or he doesn't like it.
No, he was sitting in the audience.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, so you just I know. Yeah.
Sorry, but
Yeah, so it's just a quick pan across the C stage. Yeah. So also I'm slightly nervous because my computer's running low on battery. So if we disappear, that's why. Yeah, so it's just.
nice.
Next, beep, beep.
I haven't had the courage.
No Zoom. I'm not really about to famous people in that shot. It's quite a lot.
That was a shot with a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a shot with people.
The
Yeah.
Moog booth was very active. People
Yeah,
were
that's,
very interested in playing with the
yeah.
new Messenger, which is a kick-ass mono synth.
Yeah,
Really nice.
and in the background you can see Lisa Belladonna's getting ready for a performance of it there. Yeah. Yeah, you might see Rob Puricelli over the back there, Dr. Mix at the front.
Yeah.
Manny
Man
Fernandez.
is
Yeah.
he's everywhere.
There's a lot of famous people in this room.
Is Drew Schlesinger there?
Yeah.
Right there is Drew.
Yes, and
Yeah.
yeah. Right. Yeah, so this is the question of massive way forward.
You should wait to speak before the video is over, because we can't hear what you're saying.
Okay, yeah. So this is the WMD Scorpion, the 8-stage wave folder that can get very gnarly, as you could hear there.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
We're just discussing with ourselves whether it was nice noise or shit noise.
I think it's subjective depending on, do you like Nine Inch Nails? Do
You
you
can
like
get into skinny puppy territory quite easily. Yeah.
how into the industrial world are how deep are you, or something.
I prefer a steam hammer above this.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be used with caution.
In the wrong hands, that could cause some pretty decent sized craters in your eardrums.
That they've made to go with the West Pest and East Beast, but it can be used on its own as well. And it's a great little sounding drum machine, actually. So that's made in conjunction with Pittsburgh Audio.
It was not supposed to be removed from screen. I'll put it on again, but I fear it will start the video. Let's try. Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah, so I'm unmuted at the moment.
I find it interesting.
Yeah.
I like synthesizer, drum machines which are not based on samples. I also like sampled ones. But
And in Create Audio, I don't know what the price is, but I suspect it's very reasonable as well.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Shredding, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's me playing the crit synthesizer, so I'm playing one of the oscillators while the other two are being driven by the sequencer on the left. So.
Yeah.
And more
Yeah.
improved scale notes than one should have.
Yeah. And unfortunately, what I didn't take a photo of is that the Crick has the best looking end panels of any piece of equipment.
Oh, yeah.
So check them out if you see them.
Beautiful.
Okay, let's try the next one. I can't help thinking, are you playing again, Tim?
No, it's not me. It's not me playing. No, I play more melodically than that. No, this is the performance inside the big tent. Rock tent. So a bit wild with it. It's very, very dark apart from those screens. So
It's a vibe.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
An awful lot of modules wired up.
From the start again, Tim.
Sorry, this is the Duranalog rig. It's all their modules, all wired up together, and it was being very loud and was up. They were asked to turn it down by the next door stand. So
it sounds like somebody playing Tempest. So
yeah, it was quite intense. Yes.
If you follow Richard Devine,
it sounds very much like one of his experimental setups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we are done with the videos.
Okay.
So now we are at the singing segment where you have to sing what you experienced down there.
Sorry, battery's gone now. Sorry, battery's failing. Sorry.
Wait, it's getting fuzzy. I can't see you.
Bernie knew about it. That's why he left.
Yeah.
My camera died. If I sing, the microphone actually will pull itself out of the computer and run out the window. So. Plug one of Bernie's things over there to get a power spot.
Yeah. I have to go to the little room, so Andy, can you take over for a second?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I actually have control? I think I do.
Yeah, we'll drop off in a few minutes.
Everybody's unmuted.
Any questions?
Yeah, I mean, open up the chat to questions if people have any. I was just curious. I guess what were the one or two favorite things and one or two least favorite things of the experience?
Sorry, it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. Yeah.
When it's on, it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about Superbooth, the favorite thing is never the equipment; it's the people. It's the sense of community and everything, and there's just so much chatting. It is something quite special. That's definitely the best thing about this event. And some days you don't get to see much gear because everyone just wants to chat. So
what's the least?
Oh yes. So someone's got the no. Yes, and someone asked the question about the mating toads. No, the mating toads are still there. They still had to fence off some of the paths because there were mating toads trying to get to the pond.
Mating toads. Did you sample them?
Oddly, didn't get close enough. No. So, any favorite or least favorite things, guys?
Just the environment. Can you hit the mute button on your mic?
Well, yeah.
Because JX3D was doing that. So
yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. My brain is completely fried from 3 days of talking to lots of people and enjoying people just having a passion for electronic music. It's really it's inspiring and kind of charging to see that being expressed in so many different ways, from different machines with kind of like different people and different ways of using these machines in mind. So that was very inspiring to witness, and more women than I've seen it in other Superbooths in the past. So it's not just guys in black shirts and black pants and black shoes, but we were there in numbers. So there's still a lot of us there, but it's definitely matured and developed in some really great ways that are inspiring for years to come. It's the premier electronic event of the year, as far as I can tell, anywhere in the world.
And better than Music Mesa was, right?
Oh, let me turn you up so I can hear you.
Oh, we'll play it.
Sorry?
Music Mesa was more like NAMM, right? So this is not like Music Mesa at all. So
no, and because you have, because you are in a situation where it's trees and it's 4 different locations and coffee shops and curry covered bratwurst and all sorts of food options. I mean, it's so much of an experience to come to this event than just to go into a big convention hall with poor air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of places to get into synthesizers and a lot of cool new options to do that.
Cool.
Yeah, it might not be 50-50. But we had dinner with someone that the profile picture on Facebook for her has at least it's a Andromeda right in the middle of like 15, 20 other synthesizers and stuff like that. So, it was, and she was we had a good time at the little bratwurst place by the river. So, it's great.
To the chatters, if you have any questions for these 4 guys, please ask them, and we will try to get them answered. John, you were presenting Unify 2?
Yeah. Just on an iPad, with screenshots of the advances we've done with it and where we're working on and where it's going to go,
So it's not a secret anymore?
No, not a secret.
No.
It's still months away from coming out, but we're hoping to have it out this year, and it has some really great improvements and a new interface to work with, and some really good stuff. Some interesting developments happened at the show for it too, so really excited.
Yeah. You released I just want a little advertising. You released a library a little while ago where you use some drums.
There was a library release not that long ago called Groove Summit.
Yeah.
And the concept was there were 5 different summits camps, I would say, before you get to the summit. And camp 1 had drum loops from a Mr. JX3D. And then camp 2 was breakbeat drum loops that both of those camps, they were recycled with MIDI files playing them. This is for Unify. And then camp 3 was acoustic drums, camp 4 was electronic drums, and camp 5 was like 20 different percussion instruments that I sampled multiple samples for and made MIDI file grooves for triangle, congas, all sorts of things. And then the summit, they all got together and jammed and had a really good time. And came up with like, I can't remember the exact number, but it's like 600-700 patches. And yeah. And then Fred released the library after that for Unify and Diva with not only inspiring patches, but 35 scenes for the Unify Diva version that have crazy cool cinematic sound design, custom images for every single patch, all sorts of things. We're having a lot of fun with Unify. Is kind of, we can think up and dream ideas of things we can't do in any other synth plugin, and expressing, you express yourself in sounds in unique ways if you want to, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And before that, they released a library for Unify modular sounds. So for people that want to be able to do modular without the ridiculous expense or number of patch wires, that works too. I see that Manny's joined us in the chat. He was there with us at the Superbooth as well.
Manny.
Hey, Manny.
Oh.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, cool. Thank you, Doctor.
I'll change the microphone like this. So, Andy, you were talking or hosting for a few minutes ago.
Not really. I didn't have really control over it, but
yeah, but I don't know what you were talking about. So
I just asked them highs and low points of the show. You know, give people a taste of, you know, not everything is perfect, right? So what's good and what's bad, and
yeah. But did you get all the whole story, or?
I think so. I mean,
yeah. Okay, then
I mean,
it's time
overly
for the
positive,
singing.
So yeah.
No. Fred, let's hear a bit about you. I tried earlier to get John to talk about you, but it was more like yeah.
What do you want me to say, bro? Huh? What's your question?
Who are you?
Go on.
Huh? You're from France, but who are you?
Okay. To present myself a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a French sound designer, and I'm working with my own brand that is Subsonic Arts. Also, I'm a member of the ESC, as you know, as Bernie and Tim, and I'm working with John too, and released several libraries at Plugin Guru with John. Over the years now, it's something like 7 or 8 libraries already.
Yes.
Time flies, eh? And the latest one was called Embringer, about old dystopian universe. And it was fun and really unique. You can go pretty wide and far into Unify. Yeah. Like really deep scenes and voila.
Custom images.
Yeah.
You did some really neat things with sound design.
Yeah. Some and my main way is to, you can say, I love cinematic stuffs, and in general I build images and sound together to fit and to do some kind of cinematic environment, complete ones. Voila, you can say this like this, and this is like playing with a full universe. See, and always I'm working with AI too to get further, to get deeper into this. I can present you the future library. Voila, so this is going
is
to
it
be
you
about,
on a Sunday morning, or?
Yeah. Yeah. My best size.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be about Atlantis. Made with Novum and inside Unify 2. Unify 1, but 2. Nope. Yeah, 1 and 2.
So it looks like a statue of Zeus.
Yeah, no, it's not Zeus. It's Neptune.
Neptune, Poseidon, yeah.
Or Poseidon.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Cool.
So there are sounds that match
so
these images. That's what's exciting, is that's half of the equation. Yeah, like here's the artwork for Inbringer. There's a sound that goes with this image. That's what's really fun. Is it's like a mystery of like, what kind of sound would you expect when you see a picture like that, and then you play it and you go, oh, Yeah, I can see it. I can feel it. So it's really fun. Did you
Okay.
test?
Did you
Yeah.
test it my library yourself, Henrik?
I must say I haven't worked much with software for a while.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into my hardware again. So and I do make some noise streams on this channel where I try to learn my hardware again. but at some time I will return to the software side. Also on the noise show
Okay.
streams. So no, I haven't listened yet, but I have it. So
This is the look inside Unify for one patch.
Yes.
So all the 275 patches they got all their own artworks fitting the sound.
It's a lot of work.
Fred, I have to add one more thing. Because of my condition the last year, I haven't
Sure,
had time to make much music or energy for it.
sure, I understand.
So
And
it's returning. So
yeah, better and better, bro.
yeah,
Hope so, eh?
Day by day, man.
it is.
Day by
it
day.
is. Yeah,
We know that.
yeah,
The EC is waiting for you, Hendrik.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
Now let's move on to Bernie. Bernie,
Bernie. Your turn, man.
now's your
Whoa.
turn to talk about yourself.
Ask me all.
No, you just tell us.
Oh, I can tell some little stories concerning to me. Of course, the most important thing because I work for Waldorf was the rumor about they stopped with the quantum. So I asked the CEO of
2
Wal-
seconds. 2 seconds.
Cool.
John or Fred, can you turn your volume down a little? Because
Could
it
you hear
echoes.
what I said?
Exactly.
Yeah. Just continue, Bernie.
Okay, and also some other guys from Waldorf who must know what's going on. I didn't spoke to Rolf Wurman yet. He wasn't there this year, but the director said this is just came out of a rumor. Actually, they wanted to spread the news about the quantum only to the press, and the press interpreted it. And the true story is that they had a second march of 200 quantum made, and this is a little bit sold out. So they were discussing if they make a third one, and they also discussed if they would make right away quantum 3 in place of a quantum 2. So this is the real story about Waldorf. With other words, there's a big chance that another Waldorf quantum is coming out and that they don't stop. But they for sure go further with the iridium line, and they put all the power in the M and the iridium stuff. So that won't go because it's sailing extremely good. That's one thing I heard about, and I just the last thing I left was the Osmos stand because I bought myself a Osmos and it was very interesting what's up with news and what they could tell me, and they said something nice about the metrics, Eigenmetrics editor. You have to use because it's quite difficult to use this Eigenmetrics if you never seen it before. It's quite complex, and they will come up very soon now with sort of layovers where you can get layovers, let's say, in for a bus, for a pad, for a flute, for a violin or something like this, and you can go from there on. You can make your own creations. So this is the next thing what they bring out. They still working very hard to add extra effects the next time. Every time they will do an update, and they will planning to do an update on a half year base. Then they fill it up with 80 new voices, and there's a lot of things going on. They are not sleeping, and it looks very good. What's really was nice standing there for 4.5 hour and see the faces of the people. They were really happy. Once they played with the instrument, you had to see some girls' faces. They were really was really nice to see. Surprised, and yeah, it was really nice to be there and see that for me then, and to know that
Yeah,
I made the right choice in this case.
yeah.
But
But now you shouldn't tell all the secrets.
no, this is
What
not
what
not.
what 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 I wanted to know was something about you, because we just talked about Fred, who Fred was or is. So now it's your turn to tell about yourself.
Oh, okay. Uh, I'm the founder of the ESC, and to tell a little bit what the ESC means, I have to tell you the beginning. On the beginning, I helped John a little bit with some patches, and he allowed me to release some patches into his libraries. And in this time, this was 7 years ago, right now, I became the idea that every country have his special music. So the music in Spain is different than in Italy, and the music is different in Germany, like it is different in Norway. And I thought to myself, how would it be when you bring together some sound designers of a lot of different countries in Europe? Would it show up in the sound design, in the flavor of the sounds? And within a half year, I had about 18 sound designers out of 14 different European countries, and so the ESG actually was born. And yeah, since this time, this is streaming on, and it's getting on, and some were going away, some were coming on. We've got some nice people like Tom Wolf now on it again, and so we produce now 7 libraries, I think, with the ESC, and we are planning to go on, continue that anyway with John, uh, which brought out our libraries mainly, and we are extremely happy with this, and we don't want to change that. Me myself, I have a freelance contract with Waldorf, especially for the Iridium, which I really love and which I'm very proud of. And there are now hmm? there are now coming some projects up, and I don't want to throw them in the round because let's make them first for sure. But it smells and tastes very good. This was, like I said before, a very successful Superbooth, and I can advise everybody to come to the Superbooth, meet the people, talk to the people. There are so much opportunities when you want to do something or want to know something or even just want to learn something. It's really worth to invest in a 3-4 days trip to Berlin, which is a nice city, a lot of things to see in Berlin. And so yeah, some call me a leader of the ESC. I don't feel so. We are all equal, and I'm very proud to work with this group. And it's always an adventure to work with so much people in a group because there are so much divas, so much own personalities, exactly what we wanted actually. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking
Okay.
forward. In 1 year, I will be pensionated, and then I throw all my power and strength into sound design. And let's hope I can make a good extra money from it, and make a lot of nice trips in the future, and be a couple of times more on this nice show here. Thanks.
Yeah. And Tim, we know you. You've been on these streams a few times. So tell us something we don't know.
Well, probably going back a bit because I'm actually, I've been playing using synths for about 35 years. I was a bit late starter with music. I only started to learn the piano at age 18. Yes, I've been using synths for 35 years, and I've been making synth patches all that time for my own, composing music as a hobby. But it wasn't until I got into VSTs plugins in about 2015 or so that things took off a bit when I decided that I was going to buy one expensive purchase, and I bought Omnisphere, and that sort of changed the way I use synths because suddenly it was such a creative playground and so easy to make really amazing sounds that I started making quite a lot of sounds, and then contacted John and asked if it'd be interested in selling it when I saw him selling other people. So that was a bit of a change of direction for me. So and I also I do a lot of church work, so I'm playing keyboards live. I actually use Unify Live for that. So as a sort of centre of my live rig. So that's it's very cool for that as well. So that's me. So, and then I got invited into the ESC to do joint projects as well. So I've had some amazing experiences meeting all sorts of people I never thought I'd get to meet, and doing all sorts of interesting collaborations. So that's me.
Yeah. Okay. And then back to Superbooth. What did you miss this year? What wasn't there that you thought would be there or hoped?
Roland. They haven't been for a couple of years now.
Strange.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Well, actually,
they have. Also, Behringer and everything.
Yes.
They actually have security guards on all the doors. That's not to stop us getting in and out. That's to stop Behringer getting in. So
Behringer is forbidden to come to the Superbooth. They are banned from Schneidersladen. Mr. Schneider don't want to have them in the Superbooth, which I regret a little bit because you can see what you want in it, but I still like that they sell synths for low money and people can try if they want, and later on they can buy the root stuff. But it's not like Schneidersladen see. They see it as a stealing company. I spoke to Mr. Schneider himself, so this is not what I make up in my mind.
Keep positive.
And this is actually positive.
Yeah.
So it's just a reason for it. Why Behringer is not there, and a lot of people want to see Behringer. I listen left and right there, but this is the reason why they're not.
Yeah, and Manny's pointed out Erica didn't bring the steam pipe. Yeah, I think there was we counted up there was just under 300 exhibitors this time, which is a huge increase from previous years. So there was quite a number of people who were on much smaller tables than they were before. So I think some of them had to be quite selective about what they actually brought to show. So there were quite a few products missing that you would have expected to be there. But,
Fred, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
What I miss the most is your joke, bro. Too bad you weren't around like you did last year. Huh?
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I missed your joke.
Yeah. Bernie was getting mad about my jokes because I always joked about him. If you can remember that. He is getting older. Okay. The food. Was it better this year?
Which food?
The food at the booth?
My goodness.
It was as last year, yeah.
No, actually not. The 80% is become vegan there. Who the hell wants vegan? Well, my goodness.
Yeah, I should explain for those who don't know, the food stalls at Superbooth are not organised by the organisers of the event. They're actually organised by the people that run the building. So the Schneider's Lad and Co don't have any control over what turns up. So sometimes the what food we have there can be a bit of a lottery, but it was, I think, pretty much a repeat of last year because we had the same sort of Japanese omelette things, the vegan. Which were they? Falafels in wraps, and there was also a barbecue there as well now, which was.
John had the currywurst, didn't
Oh
you?
yeah,
Loved it.
curry,
So-
always currywurst.
Oh yeah, the curry burst was one nice curry bratwurst. I
Yeah.
guess they call it currywurst.
Burst.
You have to have currywurst when you come to Germany.
Excuse me. Yeah, it was. Well, I was with Tim, and Tim was in line for the pancake, the Japanese pancake.
Yeah.
And we got closer, and then these wafts of the smell of it came, and I was like, no, that was not going to work. And I looked over and I thought, currywurst. And I went over and looked, and for, I think, how much was yours? It's like €10.
I actually got the. I was greedy. I got
You went XL.
15
For €4, a beautiful set of currywurst, and it was really good. And I have allergies to a lot of things, and my nose was running a little bit, and the currywurst gave me the protein energy I needed, and the allergies dried up, and the rest of the day was far more pleasant. So that was the fuel I needed for the day. So. It was fun. There's also a little coffee shop at the very front. So my tradition for the last couple of days has been a chocolate croissant and the little coffee with a little bit of chocolate in it, and that just gives me just enough, wakes me up, and off we go. It's been really fun.
Is the curry on the currywurst strong, or is it kind of wimpy?
I'd say more as an omelette than a pancake or pizza, but yeah.
There were more possibilities for drinks this year.
Yeah.
I find out. Huh? There are more places where you can bought drinks, so there was not so much people standing on that you had to wait for an hour before you come online.
Yeah.
It's only on the coffee stand. It's still the same because they only have one nice coffee stand there. But for the rest, if you drink beer or Fanta, cola, and things like this, or juices, you get it easy and decent.
Yeah, but the drinks lead to one of the funniest things at Superbooth because they've started charging €2 for the cup. So basically, you pay an extra €2 when you order a beer or another drink, and then when you take the cup back, they give you the €2 back. So because some people don't realise that, and some people forget, so suddenly you get people at the end of the day running around collecting up the cups and suddenly turning up at the refund stand with like a stack of 18 cups or something. So yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Then you earn the money.
Slightly nuts.
It's okay. It's on most places in Germany like this.
Yeah, we all got caught out by the cup refund.
Okay, chatters, any questions? Probably.
Yeah, I can't believe the chat.
What's the meaning of live?
Eurovision Song Contest. Thanks for that, guys. So.
It's nothing to do with the song contest. My goodness.
I know. That's what they did.
No.
Yeah.
They went there. Yeah. Now, if you collect enough cups, you make a profit on the weekday. So it's fun.
Did they still have the garbage bin with the ESC on? There was
no, didn't see
no.
No,
not this time.
Not this time. Okay. There was a garbage bin last year that had ESC written on it. So we had lots of fun about that one.
Yeah, Manny, we had a photo earlier of the Antonus 2600. So it does look very nice. But unfortunately, I didn't spot anything. What else they had on the stand? So I can't answer your question about if there's anything new there.
Manny, are you still in Berlin?
He should be.
Yeah, he's very busy.
He would be able to respond because.
John, From where do you know Manny?
Ooh, when we did the Wave Station in the 90s, I got him involved in voicing because he sent me some of his patches. And they were not what you expected. And he did some really cool things. We hired him to do a library bank of patches for the Wave Station, like 1993. So I've known of Manny for many, many years, and never had him work on my teeth, but he's a dentist, so he can do that as well if necessary. But I love all the stuff he's done, getting involved with Yamaha and getting into the more intricate FM synth stuff that he's done and stuff like that. 30 years ago, dude. Yeah, it's great history. He's a really cool guy, and I hadn't been in touch with him for probably 20 years, and then we saw each other at one of these shows, and we've been in touch a little, and it's great to see what he's doing.
Yeah, I remember last year I was on this in the front hall of Superbooth, and then I was just filming, and Manny and I don't know if it was his wife, but Manny and a lady was running.
It was his wife.
They were running and coming up to me and
there.
and then Manny said, "Come, quick, follow us. Belladonna is playing," and I had to run after them, and and we ended in the Moog booth where Belladonna was playing. It was fun. So I stayed there for 5 minutes filming some. I have a syndrome from Roskilde Festival where there's many bands playing at the same time. So I can only stay at one place at 5 minutes, then I have to go to the next. Yeah. So that's why I only were there for 5 minutes. But it was good. It was good. So that's my memory of Manny.
Yeah, we had some fun conversations. I
tried so hard to remember the name of the library bank he did for the Way Station. I can't remember the name of it. It's like something transmission or something like that. It's like really cool, really cool patches. And I have hundreds of cards.
Just a thumbs up.
Yes, I have hundreds of cards for all the different synths that I've worked with Korg for years and years, and I don't have a copy of that one. Wish I did.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We all miss Bob Moog.
Yeah, we've had Michelle Mukusa with us this week at Superbooth.
Yep, she's here.
And doing some really good things, really great things with the Bogmo Foundation. Bog Monster, that's right. That's one of the patches. Yep. That's part of the history. No, I had a chance to sit down with Michelle and talk a little, and it's just awesome to go. Everything we see happening now, without Bob and those other pioneers, none of this would be here. What's happening is built on a foundation of these amazing people that started the explorations that others are continuing now. And she realizes how awesome that is. And that's really it's amazing to see, somebody's work that they did took the football this far down the field, and other people are picking it up and taking it in really cool, exciting new directions and stuff. They wouldn't have thought back in the day of having some sort of a thing on the top of the interface of like a laptop, and you're getting different frequencies from modulating between different nodes. I mean, it's awesome. It's very inspiring.
Yeah, it was a shame. The only time I got to see Bob live on stage was back in the 80s when he was doing stuff for Kurzweil. And back when Moog was kind of not doing anything, right? They were kind of defunct. And it's very sad. I wish I could have seen him in his element doing stuff with his own instruments.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I saw him at a number of NAMM shows. I never did spend a lot of time with him. Some of the other people at Korg did. I became involved in a dinner they do at the NAMM shows, which is one of the things I will miss the most if I don't go to the NAMM show, where they do a kind of a Moog Thursday night, or is it Friday night? I think it's, yes. Dave Spears was there too.
Yeah.
But they do, we do a one night a year at the NAMM show. We have a Bob Moog little dinner. What happened is Amin Bhatia and Mark Vales grabbed Bob out of the NAMM show and took him to an Indian restaurant and to get him to stop talking about synthesizers and have a break, and just, and they did that after that for a while, and it became a tradition that they've continued, even though he's not with us anymore. So, yeah, good stuff.
I was going to say we got to meet some very cool people. We got to meet Dr. Mix, and I got to meet Florian Pils. Bad Gear himself gave me a coaster.
Florian's great.
Yeah, lots of cool people to meet.
Yeah.
And all very humble. And, and Dave Spears, yeah. So.
Yeah.
You're muted, Henrik.
You muted yourself now.
Oh, I'm tired. What I was saying was, Andy, do you have any questions? Because we've been on for 2 hours now, so it's about time to, as you can hear on me, I'm tired.
They talked about the food, they talked about the scenery and stuff, yeah, so it's all cool. I definitely want to go sometime.
Yeah.
It's a really cool experience.
Yeah. And if you're lucky, you get to see some gear as well.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. But I've been happy to have you all on. It's been funny. It's been serious. It's been great. And I'm sorry we didn't say so many jokes about Bernie. I would have liked more.
I can have them all. I'm not allergic against it,
Oh, you're not allergic this year?
But we see us soon.
Yeah.
Henrik? Yeah.
Yeah.
Next year, let's do it.
I'll never forget
indeed.
something, you know that.
Oh.
You joke about his
forget
t-shirt. So.
Thank you for inviting us to be a part of this.
We had
Yeah.
fun.
But as usual,
I'm not
I
serious
always...
all the time.
Yes, as your head Robbie was there, yes.
Yeah, I usually forget to say, remember to click like and subscribe. So now I'm saying it, and then I'll play the outro. As usual, you can stay where you are and not go offline. I'll just put the stream offline. So thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
Yeah,
Good to meet
and
you
thank
guys.
you to all the chatters. It's been a nice evening. Nice to have you and nice to serve you. Yeah. So see you next time in about 3 weeks' time, and until then, a few noise shows. So that's the plans for this channel. Thank you.
Bye, Mike.
Bye.